We get dragged into these discussions that could be political or theoretical, or people are making campaign speeches in them.
Pat Bradford tonight defending her decision to vote against discussing a Black History Month proclamation. Bradford says the board has to stay focused on school business and doesn't have time for those conversations. Just last week, Bradford, who is up for re-election, rode in the Martin Luther King parade. She says her decision today had nothing to do with race.
Personally, I wanted to participate in the MLK parade. It was a blast. I'll do it again. But these meetings are business meetings, and they should be about doing the business of the board that advances student outcomes. And all of our time should be involved in advancing student outcomes.
All other school board members voted in favor of talking about a Black History Month proclamation. School leaders will have that discussion at their next meeting, which of course is next Tuesday.